Hi, you're on a rock, floating in space. How did you get here? Who did you get here? Where am I? What is this? Well, before it all, there was nothing. Or maybe not. Maybe there's something. And then it became something that became something lesser than something. Got it? Good. Bang! Look, it's the world. All the things like other things. If you're confused, then that's good, because most people were. We weren't even people yet, but we're still confused. For a while, we didn't even know how to know things. So maybe we should know things about the things we know. We should call it philosophia. All of what we didn't know was centered on what change and matter was. This guy thought everything was made out of water. This guy thought that matter is intertwined with consciousness and it dances together. This guy thought that everything was made from everything. And then this guy came around and everyone fucking hated him. Why? Because he said that change is impossible and that matter is fake. And fuck you to everyone who disagrees. I'm going to create my entire metaphysics in spite of you because I hate you. Anaxagoras probably said while creating an entire theory to fuck over Parmenides. Uh-oh. Knock, knock. Oh, it's Socrates. You know, the guy who gave us the Socratic method, was really annoying and then died because everyone else thought he was really annoying. Hope that doesn't happen again. Well, it won't, because Plato came around and was basically Socrates' best friend and said, I'm gonna write down everything you say because I think you're really cute. And he so totally did that and more. But then, Plato got scared. He listened to that guy that everyone hated and made him popular again by getting worried that nothing is real and we could all just be looking at puppets in a cave. So he created a theory of forms. Sure, all of this could not be real, but the one thing that is real are the concepts that are forever eternal. Like a circle, which is perfect and always has the same definition. Whoops, you blinked and Plato's dead. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Plato's student, Aristotle. He did a lot of stuff, but is mainly credited to creating virtue theory, and wrote so much about something that could be summed up in one sentence. Whoops, now Alexander the Great got even greater because of Aristotle. Hopefully, he learned from you, Aristotle. Around this time, Confucius was really liking how these ceremonies were going. And then this guy was born. And then died. I'm sure we won't care about him one day. Well, what do you know? We care about him a lot now. And this guy cared about him so much that he proved the existence of God. He did this just by noticing that everything has a cause. So what's the first one? The rock fell down the hill because the rain pushed it. The rain pushed down the rock because of evaporation. Evaporation happened because of the heat. And it seems to go on for infinity. But that can't be the case, because infinity doesn't exist. He said this because he was scared that an actual infinite can exist. I'm sure this theory will not have any significance in the future. Since people really care about that guy who was born and died, we're going to make Greek philosophers popular again, because they were religious and they didn't even know it. Later on, this Englishman named Thomas Hobbes really hated humans, and thought there was going to be a war of all against all. He really thought humans were made to be governed by a dictator. I'm sure this idea will not gain traction. Deep in the depths of France, this guy Descartes was getting real worried. He looked back at the Plato guy's work and wondered, am I in a cave watching a bunch of puppets? Well, to get over his paralyzing fear of puppets, Descartes realized that there was only a couple things he can say for certain. One, he is currently thinking. Two, his currently thinking neglects the fact that he is currently not thinking. So it seems like the only thing that he can say for certain is, I think, therefore I am. After he tutored a queen and died from the cold, Descartes' rationalism inspired a bunch of people, but it also inspired a bunch of haters. Speaking of haters, this Scottish guy David Hume looked at the philosophy world and said, fuck it, we're not born with intuitions, morality's in a sense, and we can never know if gravity's a real rule. Yeah, I said it. Just because something has happened consistently in the past doesn't mean it will happen in the future. Well, but we've observed. Observed? Past tense. All we can do is make theories that encompass all of our past experiences the best way that we can. We can never say for certain those theories will always be true if they're based on induction. While the philosophy world was busy melding and coping over Hume, this German fellow, Kant, showed up and apparently opened his eyes for the first time after reading Hume. Immanuel Kant believed that we should set our morality universally, that if we wanted to live in a world without lying, then we should never lie, even if it's for a good cause. But what if an intruder asked where your wife is hiding? Would you lie, Kant? And to the surprise of no one, Kant bit the bullet and doubled down for the rest of his life. Oh hey, that's Karl Marx. He believed in a system called communism, where workers own the means of production. He saw all these wealthy business owners not properly paying their workers and exploiting their labor. That's when he came to the conclusion that our nature is inherently tied to our relationship with our work. And if we have more of a say in our work, then we'll be happier overall. God is dead. What's that? God is dead. Oh, hey, it's Nietzsche, the guy who tragically reported the passing of God. But Nietzsche was concerned about how our moral systems seem to be tied with the institution of religion, even while faith in the church and God are lowering significantly. He also didn't think morality was real, and said it comes from our feelings about things, not about real things that we feel about. His main accomplishment is he coined the phrase will to power. Kind of like how a plant always looked for the path of least resistance, that's how Nietzsche felt about humans. He went crazy in the 1900s, but while re-releasing some of his unfinished work, Nietzsche's sister edited some of his texts to be incredibly anti-Semitic, which got the attention of none other than Adolf Hitler. He killed 6 million Jews and referred to Nietzsche as his favorite philosopher. How could we do this? Is this what philosophy is? Is this what it was meant to be? No, fuck this, said a bunch of French philosophers. Nietzsche was actually super ahead of his time and inspired hundreds of postmodernist philosophers who led the charge in gender abolitionism, feminism, and anti-racism. Camus said this guy pushing him a rock was actually super happy because it was his human nature to be happy doing stupid, meaningless stuff. Sartre believed that existence precedes essence and said that we weren't created for a specific purpose, but to find our own. This woman, Simone de Beauvoir, said fuck it to the patriarchy and said that we aren't born women, but we become women through societal conditioning and acceptance with our own internalized feeling of our gender. Now it got quiet. Or maybe it got louder. The internet is full of everyone screaming their own philosophy. Maybe we should turn it off. Maybe we should let AI create art for us. Maybe we should sit by the poolside, drink margaritas, and not worry about all this philosophy and nonsense. But that's really boring, isn't it? Who are we?